There comes a time in every life when the ordinary can no longer contain you, when the familiar walls of limitation begin to close in, and something deep within whispers that destiny is stirring. This is not mere chance, not mere coincidence, but the sign of preparation for something greater than you have yet seen. When God is about to give you something big, He does not simply drop it into your hands while you remain as you were. He prepares you, shapes you, tests you, and stretches you beyond what you thought possible. He breaks the shell of comfort so that the seed of greatness may rise within you. Most people misread this process. They think the struggle means God has abandoned them. They think the delay means the blessing is denied. They confuse hardship with punishment. But in truth, when God is about to release something extraordinary into your life, the first evidence is often discomfort. The soil is turned upside down before the seed breaks forth. The storm clouds gather before the sunlight breaks through. The darkest hour comes just before the dawn. If you would receive something big from God, you must learn to recognize the language of preparation. Your setbacks are not always enemies. They are often the training ground of your spirit. That door that slammed shut in your face may be the very thing forcing you to walk the path that leads to your true inheritance. The delay that frustrated you is often the shield that protected you from premature exposure. The betrayal that wounded you may be the catalyst that drove you into the arms of your Maker, where you found strength you never knew you possessed. God gives big things only to those who are ready to carry them. Imagine placing a crown upon a child's head. What good would it serve if the child had no shoulders strong enough to bear the weight of leadership? So too with your blessings. They are mighty, but they require a vessel mature enough to hold them. This is why God sends you through the fire, through the wilderness, through the long nights where answers seem silent. He is not destroying you, He is refining you. The gold must pass through the furnace before its brilliance is revealed. Consider the nature of big things. A small gift requires little preparation. A small blessing requires little strength. But a big blessing, a life-changing opportunity, a divine assignment, a destiny, shaping responsibility, demands transformation. It requires vision, resilience, faith, and discipline. It is not enough to hope for it. You must be molded into the person who can live within it. Many cry out, "God, bless me with abundance," but they cannot yet manage the little they have. Many pray, "God, expand my territory," but they are still careless in the garden already entrusted to them. The test of small things is always the doorway to big things. If you have been faithful over little, then you will be ruler over much. Every great destiny rests upon the foundation of small, daily victories. When God is about to give you something big, you will often notice that He begins to separate you. The crowds that once surrounded you begin to drift away. The companions who once filled your time begin to vanish. Even those you counted as friends may no longer understand you. Do not resist this separation, for God cannot elevate you while you remain chained to those who are not meant to walk in your new season. He must clear the clutter, silence the noise, and strip away the excess, so that you can hear His voice and see His direction. This loneliness is not punishment, it is preparation. The eagle does not soar with flocks of sparrows. The lion does not consult with sheep about the hunt. You were not born for mediocrity, you were born for greatness, and greatness often begins in solitude, where God whispers the secrets of destiny into a heart that is finally still enough to listen. Do not despise the waiting season. Do not rush the process, for impatience is the enemy of preparation. When God is about to give you something big, He requires that you trust His timing more than your own ambition. The fruit must ripen before it is harvested. The house must be built upon rock before it withstands the storm. The foundation must be deep if the tower is to rise high. Your delay is not denial, it is design. When God is about to give you something big, resistance increases. The adversary does not attack what is not a threat. If your life seems besieged with obstacles, if challenges rise up on every side, if discouragement creeps into your mind, take courage. It may be the sign that you are on the verge of breakthrough, for opposition is often the proof of impending elevation. The greater the resistance, the greater the reward. But hear this, God's blessing does not come to those who shrink back in fear. It comes to those who hold steady in faith. To receive something big, you must cultivate an unshakable belief that what God has promised, He is able to deliver. Your words must align with His promise, your thoughts must harmonize with His vision, your actions must demonstrate your expectation. Faith is not a passive wish, it is an active force. It is the evidence of things not yet seen, the confidence that draws tomorrow into today. And what is faith without persistence? When God is about to give you something big, you must show Him that you are willing to keep moving forward even when the path is steep, even when the nights are long, even when the world says it cannot be done. Persistence is the proof of desire. It is the fuel of destiny. Those who give up never taste the fruit of greatness. Those who endure discover that the impossible becomes possible. Think of it. Every mountain you face is not meant to crush you, but to reveal your strength. Every valley is not meant to bury you, but to teach you resilience. Every tear is not meant to drown you, but to water the seed of determination within you. When God is about to give you something big, He enlarges your capacity through challenge. He trains your spirit through resistance. He strengthens your character through trial. And when the moment comes, you will discover that the very struggles you despised were the very tools that prepared you to carry your blessing. You cannot pray for rain and then complain about the clouds. You cannot ask for growth and then reject the discomfort of stretching. You cannot beg for a breakthrough and then shrink at the first sign of pressure. The road to something big is not paved with ease, but with endurance. Those who embrace the journey will stand ready when the blessing arrives. Remember this. Big things from God are never just for your benefit. They are entrusted to you so that through you others may be blessed. The abundance is given not to hoard but to share. The wisdom is imparted not to boast but to guide. The influence is granted not to dominate but to serve. If you would be entrusted with something big, you must cultivate the heart of a steward, not merely the ambition of a seeker. Ask yourself, am I ready for what I am asking for? Have I proven faithful in the little things? Have I disciplined my mind, my habits, my words, my actions, so that when the blessing comes, I will not squander it? Am I willing to release what no longer serves me, so that I can step into what God has prepared? Am I willing to endure the testing, embrace the waiting, and rise above the opposition? For when God is about to give you something big, He does not consult your comfort. He consults your calling. He does not measure your convenience. He measures your capacity. He does not ask if you are ready to remain as you are. He asks if you are willing to become what you must be. The world is full of those who dreamed of big things but fainted before they arrived. But it is also full of those who endured, believed, obeyed, and received beyond what they imagined. You must choose which you will be. The difference lies not in luck, not in chance, but in faith, persistence, and preparation. So stand firm. Lift your eyes beyond the horizon of today. Refuse to be discouraged by what appears as delay. Refuse to be broken by what feels like rejection. Refuse to give up in the face of resistance. For your struggle is not meaningless, your waiting is not wasted, your faith is not forgotten. Something big is on the way. And when it arrives, you will look back and understand why the road was so long, why the nights were so dark, why the fire was so hot. You will see that every step was necessary, every test was essential, Every tear was an investment in the greatness that now stands before you. So prepare yourself, strengthen yourself, discipline yourself, walk in faith, endure in persistence, and believe with unshakable conviction. For when God is about to give you something big, the only question that remains is this: will you be ready to receive it? When God is about to give you something big, He begins to enlarge your vision. What once satisfied you no longer feels enough. The small dream that once looked enormous now feels limited. You begin to sense deep within that there is more, far more, than what your eyes can see. This dissatisfaction is not failure, it is holy restlessness. It is God stretching your inner capacity so that when the bigger blessing comes, you will not shrink under its weight. Desire is the birthplace of destiny. When your desire grows beyond your present circumstances, it is a sign that heaven is enlarging your borders. Yet desire alone is not enough. With every dream comes the call to discipline. You cannot receive something big if you remain bound by small habits. God often nudges you to cut away distractions, to leave behind old patterns, to rise above the mediocrity that once held you. The habits of yesterday cannot carry you into the promise of tomorrow. You must become aligned in thought, word, and action with the greatness that is on the way. The small daily choices, the hidden acts of discipline, the unseen moments of integrity, these are the bricks upon which the palace of your blessing will be built. Do not be surprised if God requires you to let go of what you thought you needed most. He may strip away relationships that no longer serve your purpose. He may remove opportunities that look attractive but would only detour your destiny. He may even close doors you were desperate to walk through, because He knows they lead to nowhere. To the untrained eye, it may feel like loss, but to the wise heart, it is redirection. When God takes something from your hands, it is only to make room for something far greater. And when that big blessing arrives, it rarely looks the way you imagine. Often it comes disguised in responsibility, in opportunity that demands courage, in a door that requires boldness to step through. Many miss their blessing because they are waiting for comfort rather than calling. Big things from God do not always come wrapped in ease. They come cloaked in challenge, because challenge forces you to rise into the person capable of carrying the promise. This is why gratitude must be your constant companion. Even in the waiting, even in the stretching, even in the trial, gratitude keeps your heart aligned with heaven's flow. A grateful heart attracts increase. A bitter heart repels it. If you would prepare for something big, learn to give thanks for the small. If you would be trusted with abundance, learn to honor the little. Gratitude unlocks the gates to greater blessings, for it proves that you value what you already hold. So keep moving forward with confidence. Keep praying, keep working, keep believing. Refuse to let go of your faith in the unseen. The very day you are tempted to quit may be the day before your breakthrough. The very hour you feel weakest may be the moment heaven is aligning everything in your favor. You do not know how close you are to receiving what you have prayed for, but one thing is certain: the struggle you feel, the stretching you endure, the fire you walk through is the clearest sign that something big is coming. And when it does, you will not only receive it, you will be ready to live in it, sustain it, and multiply it for the glory of the one who gave it. When God is about to give you something big, your inner voice begins to grow louder. It speaks with urgency, telling you that where you are is not where you will remain. It pushes you to think beyond your current circle, beyond your current limitations, beyond your current identity. That voice is the seed of vision, and vision is the compass of destiny. Without vision, you stumble through life aimlessly, but with vision, every step, even the painful ones, becomes purposeful. Vision allows you to see what others cannot, to believe what others doubt, and to keep pressing forward when others give up. The journey to something big requires courage above all else. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. God does not call those who feel ready. He calls those who are willing. He does not ask if you are fearless, he asks if you will trust him even when you are trembling. Courage means stepping into uncertainty with faith that the ground will appear beneath your feet. And every time you choose courage over comfort, you are proving to God and to yourself that you are ready for the next level. There will be moments when you will question everything. The path will seem unclear, and the waiting will feel unbearable. You will ask, why me? Why this? Why now? And yet, these questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs of growth, for only those who are stretching beyond themselves encounter the tension of the unknown. When you ask why, remember that the greater the assignment, the greater the preparation. Trust that even the unanswered questions are shaping you for what lies ahead. When God is about to give you something big, He teaches you to let your faith lead, not your feelings. Feelings change with the wind, but faith anchors you in the storm. Feelings may tell you it's over, but faith declares it's only beginning. Feelings may whisper that you are not enough, but faith affirms that with God you lack nothing. To hold on to something big, you must learn to walk by faith and not by sight. Sight shows you obstacles, faith shows you outcomes. Sight reveals the problem, faith reveals the promise. There is also the law of persistence. Blessings are not for the faint of heart. The world belongs to those who refuse to let go. Persistence is the bridge between promise and fulfillment. Many pray, but only the persistent see their prayers turn into reality. Many dream, but only the persistent wake up each day and fight for those dreams until they manifest. Persistence is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It is the quiet, steady fire that carries you across the finish line when inspiration has faded. Remember that when God is about to give you something big, He will test your priorities. He will ask you, do you value the blessing more than the one who gives it? Will you honor the giver once the gift arrives? If your heart is not aligned, the blessing can become a burden. But if you remain rooted in humility, gratitude, and service, the blessing becomes a tool of transformation, not just for you, but for everyone touched by your life. So hold fast. Your waiting is not in vain, your effort is not wasted, your tears are not forgotten. The pressure you feel is the evidence of greatness forming within you. The season you are in is the preparation for the season you have prayed for. You are closer than you realize, stronger than you know, and more ready than you feel. And when the moment arrives, it will be clear that every struggle, every test, and every sacrifice was necessary for the size of the blessing that is about to unfold before you. When God is about to give you something big, He often surrounds you with signs that demand your attention. A sudden stirring in your spirit, an unexpected opportunity, or even a closed door that forces you onto a new path. All are indicators that the old season is expiring and the new one is being born. These signs may not come with trumpets or fanfare. They often appear quietly, disguised as challenges or subtle nudges. But if your heart is awake, you will recognize them for what they truly are: gentle confirmations that destiny is in motion. During this time, you may feel a strange mix of anticipation and pressure. On one hand, you sense something greater is near, and on the other, life feels heavier than usual. This tension is not accidental. It is the stretching of your capacity, the forging of endurance, and the shaping of character. Just as a bow must be pulled back tightly before releasing an arrow forward, so must you be drawn into uncomfortable places before being launched into your blessing. The greater the tension, the greater the release. Another important sign is the sharpening of your focus. Things that once distracted you no longer hold the same power. Conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. Activities that once consumed your time now feel meaningless. This sharpening is divine. God is narrowing your attention to what truly matters, because big things require undivided energy. You cannot afford to pour yourself into trivial pursuits when a destiny-altering assignment is approaching. He removes the unnecessary so you can be free to grasp the extraordinary. When God is about to give you something big, He also tests your faith in the unseen. You may not have evidence that change is coming, but faith is the conviction that what you cannot yet see is already real. It is the confidence that even in silence God is working. The world may say, "Show me, and I will believe," but faith says, "Believe first, and you will see." To step into something big, you must walk with faith as your compass, even when the road ahead is foggy. And perhaps the most crucial lesson is obedience. God often gives small instructions on the way to big blessings. He may nudge you to forgive someone, to walk away from a toxic environment, to give when it feels uncomfortable, or to take a leap of faith into new territory. These small acts of obedience are keys that unlock bigger doors. Many miss their break, through not because God withheld it, but because they resisted His direction. Obedience, even in the smallest matters, proves you can be trusted with greater responsibility. Finally, when God is about to give you something big, He ignites within you a deeper sense of purpose. The blessing is not random. It is tied to your calling. It is meant not only to elevate you, but to impact others through you. Your gift is meant to serve, your abundance is meant to bless, your influence is meant to guide. The bigger the blessing, the bigger the responsibility. And when you embrace that responsibility with humility and gratitude, the blessing multiplies beyond what you could ever imagine. In the end, when God is about to give you something big, He first shapes you into someone capable of holding it. The waiting, the trials, the separation, the stretching, all of it is part of His perfect design. What feels like delay is actually preparation. What feels like loss is often protection. What feels like resistance is the very force that strengthens you for what lies ahead. So do not despise the process. Do not abandon the path. Do not let go of your faith, for the very weight of your struggle is the proof of the size of your blessing. And when the day arrives, you will see that every tear, every step, and every sacrifice was worth it, because God will place into your hands something far greater than you ever dreamed, and you will know without doubt it was Him all along, preparing you for the big thing He had destined for your life.